A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In next about 10 minutes, I shall be talking on self-belief and hard work can propel a person to success. Before that, it is my honor and privilege to be part of this August forum. Winston Churchill had famously remarked, "Success is not final, courage is not fatal. It is the spirit to continue that makes a person succeed." Till 1985, the majority of my schooling was done in small places, in small schools, because my father, being in the army, got posted every 2-3 years. In 1985, I was studying in Kendriya Vidyalaya, Mau, in a place called Mau, which is near Indore. My father got posted to Delhi. On reaching Delhi, I was admitted in the Army Public School, Dhaula Kuan. When I entered the school for the first time, I was in shock and awe. Because for the first time in my life, I was seeing a school with a sprawling campus, with over 7,000 students, each class having 11 sections, and each section having at least 45 students. Till then, I had studied in small schools where there were hardly 1 or 2 sections in each class, and the strength never exceeded 30 to 35 students. 2 weeks after joining the Army Public School, there was this physics class test. And when the results were announced, I had scored just 1 mark out of 25. In the next period, Mrs. Iyengar, a class teacher as well as a geography teacher, came and she asked, "I've just come to know that in the last period, all of you have got the physics marks. All those 9 students who have joined the school this year, please stand up and tell me your marks." When my turn came and I told 1 mark, it was not only the lowest score among the 9 students, but amongst the entire section of 45 students. Mrs. Iyengar asked me, "Jasinder, what went wrong?" I was candid enough to tell her that, "Ma'am, all this is very new to me. Here I'm not only seeing students talk in fluent English, but they also discuss English songs, which I'd never heard before." She smiled and told me, "Remember 2 words throughout your life, self-belief and hard work. They can take you places." That day, these 2 words struck in me. I realized I may not be in the school football team. I may not be in the school debating team. I may not be a topper in my class. But these 2 words can make a difference in my life. And I started working hard and having belief in myself. 2 years later, I cleared the National Defense Academy Khadakwasla examination, which is the 8th toughest exam in the entire world, and I joined the Indian Army as an officer. After serving there for 21 years, I took premature retirement, which is called as voluntary retirement in the civil life. I came to the civil life. For 3 years, I worked in the corporate. Then for 5 years, I ran my security agency, which the Army gives to retired officers, with the aim of resettling them in the civil life. About 6 years back, a batchmate of mine who comes on 2 television channels, and I should see him frequently on these 2 channels, I called him up and I said, "I have a desire that for 1 minute I should come on the national media." He said, "Definitely yes, I'll send you a number. You contact that person and you'll be taken live on air." I was very happy that here is one person who's ready to help me. But for 2 days, he didn't send me any number. We kept on exchanging casual messages on WhatsApp, but he never gave me the number. I sent him a reminder. There was no reply to that too. I realized that not all dreams and desires succeed in life. Well, things changed on 8th December 2021. That day in the afternoon, around 1:30, an Air Force helicopter, which was flying General Bipin Rawat, the then Chief of Defence Staff of the Indian Armed Forces, his wife Madhukala Rawat, and 9 other Army personnel, crashed near Wellington. Immediately in all the 14 WhatsApp groups that I'm in, somebody or the other put this message. And soon thereafter, someone put the message of the flight manifest, which had the details of all the 11 members who were on board that ill-fated helicopter. Among them was a name Brigadier L.S. Lidder. When I saw that name, something broke in me, because I knew Brigadier Lidder from my school days. He was 1 year senior to me in Kendriya Vidyalaya, Mau. He stayed opposite our block in Golf View Officers Accommodation in Mau, and were very close family friends. I prayed and prayed for all of them to come out of this alive, but it was not so. At 7:30 in the evening that day, the media announced that except for one, all have passed away, and something broke in me. As a mark of tribute to Brigadier Leader, in all the 14 WhatsApp groups that I was in, I posted a 4-5 line message which read, I knew Brigadier Leader very well. He was approved Major General in the Indian Army. He was senior to me by 1 year in KV Mau, stayed opposite our block. His nickname was Tony. And my last 2 words in the message were, R.I.P. Tony. That night, around 11:30, I got a call from Nardeep Dhaya, who's the editor of First Post. And he told me, I want you to write an article on Brigadier Leader. I asked him, by when do you want the article? He said, by tomorrow. In the morning of 9 December, I got up. I had no experience of being in the national media, but what came to my heart, I wrote. I mailed him, the article was published. Thereafter, I started publishing my articles in various publications. Last year, on 24th February, at around 10:40 in the evening, I and my wife are about to finish our dinner, and a call comes from a news channel, and it says that, sir, we've been reading articles on the print media. We would like you to come on air and speak on the Russia-Ukraine war. To be frank, I didn't even know that Russia had invaded Ukraine that day. I wanted at that moment to tell him that give me some time, I'll prepare and come. But I said, no, it's an opportunity coming my way. Let me take it. What most can happen? I can fail. And 20 minutes later, at 11 p.m. that night on 24th February, I was live on air. Without any knowledge of Russia, Ukraine, without any knowledge of the geopolitics of that region, I just spoke out of my common sense. And after the show finished, I told my wife, well, this is the first and last time that somebody would have called me on television, because they would have realized I knew nothing. Things changed 2 days later from 26th February. I started getting calls from various national and international news channels. Today, I'm on 55 national and international news channels with an average of 8 shows a day. My articles have been published in 30 national and international publications. I started my own publication called the Global Strategic and Defense News last year on 11 November. And in 1 year, it is ranked 9th in India and 44th in the world in the field of geopolitics and defense, that is non-political reporting. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you 2-3 points in the end. One is, never lose any opportunity that comes your way. It may be small, but you do not know how it will open up paths of success for you. Secondly, always believe in yourself. You may not have the best of the education. You may not come from a financially secure background. You may not be good in English, but nothing can stop you if you're determined. And finally, remember, there'll be some people who will help you, some people who will not help you. Forget those who didn't help you and continue with your path, with your passion, with whatever you love doing it in. Finally, to sum up with Virat Kohli's famous statement he gave a few years back, self-belief and hard work can get a person to success. Thank you and Jai Hind.